Welcome, everyone. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for another presentation of Your Pleasure Incorporated into Daily Living. I am your host, Ellen Nicholas Rathbone, sensuality consultant and life coach with Brave Thinking Institute. Now, today I want to jump into the topic of shrimping, but I want to preface it by reminding everyone that we have an electrical charge. We actually have a positive electrical charge, and it runs up and down the length of our body. It is what keeps us alive. It's what keeps us moving. It's not just the breath in our body, because you could pump air in. No, there's a real electrical charge. And, sometimes you feel it if you're, involuntarily, and other times you can actually create a stronger vibration of that energy on certain parts of your body with certain stimulations. So by the understanding that we have this electrical charge and that we are this energy, then you have to look at where does this go in its most intense form. It goes to our extremities. So your head is very sensitive, your fingertips are very sensitive, and your feet are very sensitive. And a lot of people don't really think of their feet as sensitive. They think of them as ticklish or dirty or calloused or nasty or whatever thoughts they have about their feet. But the bottom line is they are an extremity of your body, and they are very, very sensitive. And because of that sensitivity, you can actually utilize a technique called shrimping to create a full body orgasm via your feet. Now, this technique, done properly, is the most explosive, dynamic, fantastic orgasm that anybody could have. Usually, though, it is women who will have that orgasm because men are very penis centered. And so if their penis is not involved in the activity, often they find it difficult to allow those kinds of other stimulations that they might interpret as ticklish or whatever to even happen to them. But women are more accepting of trying these different things. And so most of the people who have received a shrimping technique were women, and it was done by their partner. So what is a shrimping technique? Well, it is based on the fact that your feet have a lot of nerve endings, and your toes in particular are the most extreme area of your body. Like your nipples are extreme, and your fingertips are extreme, and your earlobes are extreme. All these parts are where, sort of like a little dead end, right? Well, it's the same thing with your feet. They are where the energy ends up. If you can tap that energy, then you can create phenomenal, intense, and natural sensations that will emanate from your feet straight up through your legs, right past your genitals, right through your heart, and right out the top of your head. It is possible to have that experience. Most people have not had that experience. Most people think that the entire idea of having an orgasm via their feet is impossible. But that is just what you have learned. What is impossible? What is not expected? And quite honestly, you've never really learned about the erogenous potential of the feet. Most of the time when anybody ever talked to you about sex, it was all about genitals and being careful and being, don't get pregnant and don't get diseases and it can kill you. Nobody ever talks about the pleasures of sex. And when they do talk about the pleasures of sex, they never mention the feet. So I am here to tell you that the feet are the area where the shrimping takes place. And the big toes in particular need to be in a certain state to be receptive. So what is receptive? The first thing you have to know is that the feet have to be relaxed. You cannot just grab somebody's feet and say, oh, I'm going to start sucking on your toes. You're going to love this. No. The feet are normally pretty tense because they hold up weight all day long. A lot of people hold a lot of tension in their feet, even when they're sitting. So if you're going to do this, it is necessary first to massage the feet gently. I would use a good quality oil because then it will help your fingers to slide and glide everywhere they need to go. Recently, I've been using this brand. It's by Mark Anthony. It's 100% coconut oil. You can find this in any Sally's, I'm sure. I think I found it at a Walgreens, but it's available everywhere. And one of the reasons I like it is it is coconut, 100% pure coconut oil. So it might have a little bit of a coconutty flavor while you're participating in the shrimping, and maybe at that point sucking on toes, you'll have a coconutty flavor. And think of all the vitamins and omegas you're getting from this wonderful product. So it's good for you too. So first, the feet have to be massaged and relaxed, okay? Then the second step is kissing. And the kisses have to go from the inside of the foot and then up and around. And it has to be a very gentle, methodical thing, one foot and then the other. There can't be a lot of pressure, but there can't be too little pressure, because if you're not holding the person's feet with confidence, it could be ticklish, and nobody wants to be tickled. That's not sexy. It's not fun. And if you get off on torturing people, then, that's the kind of karma that's going to bite you in the ass. But right now we're talking about giving pleasure. So your hold has to be firm, but not too strong, and definitely not too light. The person who you're doing this to will tell you or pull away if you're too tight. And then just ask the question, and they will know. And they will tell you. So kissing, that's the second step. And the kissing first should take place on the thicker areas of the skin, and then along the top of the toes, okay? That's very, very important. It is the foundation. It is drawing energy into the feet, but not doing it too quickly, too strongly, too intensely. You don't want that, because remember, feet are very, very sensitive and can be very, very ticklish, and nobody wants their feet attacked. Okay. So then the third stage, is the sucking. Now, of course, if you're going to participate in shrimping, it is assumed that the person who this is going to be given to knows it and has washed their feet properly, hopefully buffed them as well. They don't have to be painted or fancy, but clean. Clean is absolutely necessity, because when a person is going to suck your toes, they have to know that they are absolutely clean. But I want to reassure you, clean feet are cleaner than your mouth, because your mouth has all kinds of bacteria in it, and your feet washed off don't have that breeding ground of bacteria, so they're cleaner than your mouth. So you can do this with confidence that the person that you're giving this wonderful technique to has cleaned their feet, buffed if necessary, and made them inviting for you to want to kiss them and stimulate them as you would any erogenous zone that you realized had potential for multi-orgasm, because that's what those feet have, potential for multi-orgasm. Okay. So you start at the little toe, because there's the least amount of nerve endings there, and you work your way up to the big toe, remembering that it is not intense sucking that needs to take place. If the toenails are clipped properly, they fit like little gems in your mouth, and it's not a big deal to do that. And as you work your way from one end to the other and then alternate between one foot and the other, you will notice that the recipient of this attention is getting more and more and more excited. And you're not even touching their genitals, but that's what's also getting excited, because that electrical energy that was just kind of going up and down, just kind of minding its business, is being stimulated to rev up from the bottom. And then as it goes to the bottom, then it shoots back up, and then it goes back down and it shoots back up. And now you are sending it with an extra boost from the bottom to the top. And when it does, when you reach a point where they are responding, and they'll let you know, you'll hear it. It's their erogenous, it's their love song. When a person is having an orgasm, that you know they're having an orgasm, and then you stay with them, but don't force anything. It's all about listening. It's all about sensitivity. It's all about wanting to give. It's all about understanding that when you treat your body with reverence, knowledge, respect, it is a healing entity. And orgasm itself is the most healing entity, ability that we humans have, and that we have done nothing to elevate the idea of our sexual lives, but only to be afraid of it. And it really sickens me, because we are sexual beings. And if we do not have sex, human civilization ends. So if we're going to have it, let us elevate it to the true living art that it is, because that's what it is. Let us take it out of the dark ages and understand that it is part of our birthright. Maybe if we can normalize the love we feel for ourselves and understand that our sexual desire and need is not shameful or wrong, we can also help to alleviate the sickness around sexual appreciation, because so many people are stifled. Anyway, we'll talk about that another time. Bottom line is, your feet have a phenomenal potential for sexual pleasure and release, and it's all caused by drawing the energy down. And as I said, there are 3 steps, okay? Massage, kiss, and then suck. And if you do these 3 things with sensitivity and with confidence, and by listening to your partner's responses, it is truly one of the most exciting, phenomenal, delicious, excellent, healthy, fun releases that your body can possibly have. And you can't get pregnant by it, and there's no disease attached to it. And it's just totally, totally wonderful. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this presentation on the art of shrimping. If you have any questions, I'd be willing to take them. But if not, I will be back next week, hopefully with a guest, so we can talk about other things sexual. If you have heard anything in this talk that you feel you would like to talk to me about, especially if you are in need of a life coach, I will be more than happy to contact you back. Just call me back at contact me at the email address listed below, ypi69@hotmail, and I will reach out to you for sure. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste, everybody. We are a world of passionate lovers. Best we stay that way rather than let anything stop us from being real. Enjoy yourself. Bye for now.